All right then. So, ring ring. Hello?
Hello, is this Jim?
Yes, this is Jim.
Hey Jim, my name is Joe. I work with a real estate team. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Great to hear that. Well, let me tell you that I saw your home came off the market recently, and I wanted to know if it's still available or if it was actually sold.
Um, no, we're
What
not.
can you tell me?
Yeah, we're not looking to sell right now. We took it off the market.
Oh, I hear you, Jim. Well, since the home was on the market recently, then what circumstances will enable you to sell it again? Or what changed? Can you tell me?
Um, I'm not really sure, you know, what happened. I'm not really positive what our home would sell for because I think it was overpriced.
Oh, I understand. Well, let me tell you, Jim, that we actually give you a thorough and comprehensive evaluation of your home to make sure that it sells fast and for the top dollar. If I can give you these and other benefits, would you be interested or will it get your attention?
Um, yeah, I mean, if you could sell it for what we want, um, do you have a buyer for the house?
Well, sure, we absolutely have buyers. I'm really calling today to see if you're interested in selling so we can get you in touch with our buyers. Um, Tell me, Jim, before we continue then, since you're interested, how much is it that you're looking for on the home?
Um, well, I'm not really sure. I was hoping you could tell me that.
Oh, great. In that case, I can get you in touch with one of our experts on your neighborhood and who knows the market more than anybody else. Would that sound good for you?
Um, I'm not really sure how you guys got our number. Are you do you work with my agent? Because we already have an agent.
Oh, I understand. Well, let me tell you that our system pulls the information correspondent to the property. And if you already have an agent, are you looking to hire another one or to hear a second opinion for your home?
No, no, we already have an agent.
I understand. You see, most of the agents just do the three types of teeth we know on the market. They put the sign on the yard. They uh, publish your home for sale on the MLS, and then they sit down and pray for another agent from a buyer to find it and sell it for them. Now, what makes you sure that this time you will be able to sell your home?
I'm not sure. Uh, you know, I'm not really sure. He was a nice person, and he said that we were off on price, so um, we could potentially put it back on the market with him, a couple weeks from now, probably.
That's great. What I am hearing from you is that you feel obligated for the last agent because they invested time and money on your house, right?
Yeah, they did.
Well, and they originally listed the house. They most likely intended to sell it, right?
Yeah, they did. I mean, I'm assuming so.
Okay, sure. Well, they probably did everything they could to get it sold. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, they probably did.
Yeah, and but yet the house didn't sell. I'm convinced that it's not for lack of effort. I think it's most likely in the approach. Your house needs a different approach. Now, Jim, you don't owe me anything, and you really don't owe them anything either. But you do owe yourself the very best. I certainly would. It certainly wouldn't hurt to hear what I have to say to you and get the house to get your house sold. Would it?
No, I mean, I guess not. Uh, I guess we'd be open to hearing what you got to say.
Great. I mean, after all, you can afford to keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results, can you?
No. We can't.
Okay, that's exactly why we need. That's exactly why we need to get together today, Jim. So, um, in can, just a couple of questions to know more about the history of your house. If that's okay. Like, if you can rate me your house from 1 to 10, how much will you give it?
Um, I'd probably give it about a 7. It's pretty decent.
7.
Yeah, it's a pretty decent
Okay.
condition, but we know that the carpets need to be clean and maybe a new coat of paint in the house.
So you're saying that changing or cleaning the carpet and painting again the house will give it a 10, or what will you need to have a 10 on the house?
Yeah, probably just cleaning it up and painting it and then new carpets.
That's great. And are you current on your house payments?
Yeah, we're current on the house payments, but we have a little mortgage.
You have a mortgage?
Yeah, it's not much though. We've been paying it down over the
Okay,
years.
I understand. Well, we can check those. We can check that information when we meet, so we can prepare you an Excel sheet showing you what the sale of the house will financially yield you. How much
Okay.
do you owe on the property?
Um, we owe about 70,000.
Okay, that's great. And how much will you be selling it for? What is the price of your interest?
Um, well, we had it in the market previously for 150, but I don't know. I think it's probably more worth like 125.
125. That sounds great. We'll make the valuation of your house to make sure that's the best price to selling it fast. Now, what will happen if we sell your home in the next 30 days? Will that be a problem for you?
No, that would be great. We wanted to get out of here sooner than later, but we're not in a rush to sell, but we would definitely want to sell. And 30 days is enough. We're actually half packed up.
Okay, I understand. So there's no rush, but you're ready to go whenever whenever you see the opportunity, right, Jim?
Yes, correct.
Great. And are you planning moving to any specific place, or you already have everything set up?
Um, no, actually, we haven't picked out a place. We're gonna move closer to our family. Um, and they're about an hour and a half away on the other side of Georgia. But we don't know where we're gonna go yet, but we're ready to go.
Well, that sounds great, Jim. Let me tell you actually that we can also get you in touch with an agent on that area who should know the house available for you to find one when we sell your home. Doesn't that sound good for you?
Sure, that would be nice.
Fantastic. So, well, you see, we specialize in selling homes that didn't sell the first time. And I was hoping you could have 15 minutes or so to talk about your house with us.
Um,
Which usually works better for you, weekends or weekends?
um,
Weekdays or weekends?
weekdays are pretty good.
That's great. Okay, that will be morning or afternoon.
Probably in the afternoon. I'd say probably around
Great.
5 o'clock
Uh-huh.
when we get home.
Great. Will you be available, let's say, on this next Monday?
Uh, Monday would work. I might need to just check with my spouse, but um, Monday would be okay, I think.
Okay, Jim. And is your spouse also a decision maker?
Yes, she's helping me because she's on the title as well.
I understand. Great. So I bet you will be also part of in our meeting, right? Will all
Yeah,
the decision makers be available on Monday 5 p.m.?
yes, I think so. I just need to check with her to make sure that works.
Okay, great. So in that case, when can I call you back so we can make sure about the meeting?
Probably Monday morning. I should know by then.
Great. Monday morning about 9 a.m. Will that be okay?
Sure, yeah, anytime in the morning before 12.
Okay, that's great, Jim. And can you give me also an email so I can tell you some information about how we work?
Sure, yeah. It's Jim at gafinesthomes.com.
Okay, that's great, Jim. So I look forward to meeting you for 15 minutes on this next Monday. Before we go, is there anything else you need to know or any questions you have for me?
Not right now. I think we might come up with some over the weekend, but I'm okay for now. I would want to see maybe a little bit more information about you guys, and if you have a website, maybe you can email that to me.
Excellent. Yes, that's a good question, Jim. I will make sure to send you that information through the email. And so, our meeting should only take around 30 minutes. Is that okay?
Oh yeah, 30 minutes is fine.
Oh, fantastic. I will check with you on Monday, 9 a.m., and I look forward to meeting you on this Monday. You
Okay,
have a
great.
great day.
Excellent. Thank you.
You're welcome, Jim. Take care.
Okay, click. All right, Diego, that was a lot better. um, that was
Okay.
good. You did a good job. Um, all right, couple of things that I just wanted to bring up. A lot better responses on the objections, Diego. So that was great. I mean, the way you handled it was pretty good. Um, and the only thing I wanted to bring up is when we get them on the phone, Diego, especially like on that first phone call, what we typically do, and we actually didn't tell you this yet, so definitely not your fault for not knowing. But with that prequal, the other document that actually has like the
Yeah,
PQ.
like 20,
Yeah, there's like
20
20 questions there. Yeah.
questions, right?
Basically, what we try to do, Diego, is set the appointment first and then call them back before the appointment um, to make sure that they're still okay. And then we start asking some other questions. So we usually just call them back and say, hey, this is Diego, or hey, this is Joe. Um, you know, we spoke on Friday about your home on 123 Main Street, and we just wanted to call to confirm our appointment for today. And we have you scheduled for what time we say 3 p.m. Is that still a good time for you? Oh yeah, 3 p.m. is good. Okay, great. And Mr. Seller, just before you hang up, we actually have just a couple of questions for you. That way, when we come out, we do a really good job. So, if you don't mind, can I just ask you a couple of questions? Is that okay? Oh, sure. Yeah. What is it? Okay. If what I say makes sense and you feel comfortable and confident that we can sell your home, um, are you planning to list your home with us when we come out later this evening? Uh, I don't know. It depends. Okay, great. Well, I understand. Looks like we'll have to do a great job then. Um, are you planning to interview more than one agent for the job for selling your home? Oh no, we haven't. We haven't talked to anybody else, but we were going to call our other agent back, but we're going to wait until after you came. Okay, great. Well, that's excellent. Um, so tell me again, where were you moving to? It was in North Georgia, right? Not too far away for your family? Yeah, we were going to possibly move into Cobb County and somewhere out on the north side. Okay, great. And you needed to be there how soon? Was that a couple weeks or I remember saying it was almost less than 30 days, right? Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, less than 30 days. Okay. So what would happen if your home did not sell? And so you just kind of go through these questions. The more you can answer, Diego, the better. Um, but when you do your prequal, when you actually call to confirm the appointment, Um, Sometimes we don't get through all 20 questions because there's quite a bit on here. Um, the major ones that we're going to try to ask are going to revolve around their motivation, and then to see if they're interviewing
Mhm.
anybody else to make sure that they are truly serious about this. So,
Okay. The main thing is to know if they will be interested on listing it with us, right?
correct, yeah,
Or if they're gonna be having more interviews. Okay.
right. Or like maybe they're not too serious, or who knows, maybe you weren't able to ask some questions on the phone when you first talk to them about their motivation. So this phone call is really to just make sure that they are still in fact motivated um, to sell their house. So we usually ask them, the first question is really the most important. If what we say makes sense, and you feel comfortable and confident that we can sell your home, are you planning to list your home with us when we come out on Tuesday at 4 p.m.? Uh, I don't know. I mean, I guess that depends. Or I'm not sure. It depends on how you do. What I usually do at that point, Diego, like whatever they say, is I usually kind of just, laugh and just go, okay, well, it sounds like we have to do a great job then. So we're looking forward to it. Um, are you planning on hiring or interviewing one more? Excuse me. Are you planning to interview more than one agent for the job for selling your house? And then I usually just go right into the next questions. So listen to what they say and jot down their responses, and we'll actually have like a system that you'll use to call back, where you can take notes. So um, just make sure that when we pre-qual them, we go through this. But that was actually a little bit of a separate training, so I didn't want to jump too much ahead for today. So, but that was pretty good though, Diego. I think you addressed a lot of the
Great.
questions right off the script as best you could. So
Improving.
yeah, you're getting better. um, the only thing I would want to critique also is just try to be weary of kind of what we're saying, or like some of the phrases that we use. Um, especially being in El Salvador. I mean, I don't know how many people you have a chance to kind of practice with who are fluent in English and kind of get a chance to talk how we do in the U.S. But I notice sometimes, we'll say like, "Let me tell you," when we kind of start off like, "Let me tell you, Jim," um, and like little phrases like that, Diego, sometimes will help lose credit on the phone. So they might pick up. Or what you could do is, and we've actually had other call center reps who've had quite a bit of success doing this, is, if we're obviously, no one's perfectly fluent in another language. What I usually have heard that works really well is like other people will say, um, they'll sometimes joke about it in kind of like a light way to make the other person laugh. But one of their call center reps, a good example for what he had said is, he was going through the script, and then the seller asked him, "Are you from Georgia or are you from a different country?" And um, the call center rep, I mean, he had a great response. I mean, we didn't have a script for this, but he was like, "Actually, you know what? Um, I was born and raised in El Salvador, and I clearly have an accent. So can you tell I'm not from Georgia?" And he kind of laughed, and the seller was like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense." And he's like, "But you know what? Our team, most of our agents were born and raised right in Georgia. So fortunately, I have enough. I have an opportunity to work with them. So um, Jim is actually our listing specialist, and he's from Atlanta. So um, or wherever I think we were actually going to like Marietta or whatever the town was. He said, "Hey, we're local in Marietta, so have no worry about Jim having an accent. But if he does, you can now." I don't know. He kind of joked around with him a little bit, but just to add some levity to the conversation, if anybody ever says anything about that. Um,
Okay.
so they usually just joke, Diego, because I sometimes do that too, because I was from New York and I came down here. We say some things different in New York than they do in Georgia, and I used to just kind of joke around. I was like, "Oh, could you tell I'm from New York?" And they're like, "Oh, that's where you are." Okay. Like, not sure why you're not saying y'all. Um, but okay. So let's just kind of run through it again. That was good. Um, Also
Okay.
with the script then too, Diego, try to stick to the questions. Like even if you're not sure on how to respond to, or it's not quite concrete on how to respond to what the seller says, just go, just try to ask them a question like, oh, okay, well, that sounds good. We'll definitely see if we can address that. Why do you need to sell your house? Just kind of jump back into the questions.
Okay. When I'm gonna use that, you say?
Just kind of throughout the conversation. Um, so let's just kind of do another one real quick, Diego, and then that way we'll get a good two in there. Um,
Okay.
okay, all right, ready? Let's do it. So, ring
So,
ring.
hi. Yeah, hi. Is this Jim?
Yes, this is Jim.
Hey, Jim. My name is Joe, and I work with a real estate team. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How you doing?
I'm doing great also. Thank you, Jim. Now, the reason for my call is that I saw your home came off the market. I wanted to know if it's still available or it's actually sold.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I guess that kind of depends. Do you have someone who's interested in the house?
Sure, Jim. We absolutely have buyers, and I'm really calling because of that to see if you're still interested in selling.
Oh,
What are the circumstances that will enable you to sell?
oh yeah. Well, we are interested in selling, but we ended up taking it off the market with our last agent, and we're looking to just sell it ourselves at this point. But I'm willing to pay a buyer's commission, um, but we're not looking to put it on the market with an agent.
Okay, I understand, Jim. Wait, tell me if there was a specific benefit for you to list your home with me today, would you at least consider it?
Well, I mean, what's the benefit of listing with an agent? The last one didn't do anything.
I understand your concern, Jim. It's a valid, but let me tell you that most of agents they just put the sign on the yard, and they place your home for sale on the MLS, and then just pray for a buyer's agent to get the house sold, right? Now, on our case, on our team, we do things differently. We will actually um, we do prospecting on behalf of our seller, and we have aggressive marketing plans to make sure that we sell your home for top dollar in no time. Does this sound good for you?
Uh, yeah, I mean that sounds like it's more than what my last agent did. Um, but you know what? I mean, uh, he called us when our home was for sale by owner, and we ended up listing with him, but he didn't do anything. And I actually have a sibling of mine. One of my family members is he's a realtor, and we were actually thinking about giving him a shot.
Okay, I understand that. Let me just ask you one thing: is your is your family member actually working on will be working on this full time or just part time?
Um, no, they're not working full time. I think I'm not really sure. I know he has another job, so I think he's part time.
Okay, I understand. Then you see this is time. Just give me 1 second. I don't find that one.
That was good though, Diego. That was number 19.
Okay. 19. Okay. Okay. Really good. Okay. Okay. Maybe because how it's shown, right? Okay. Um, are they working full time? Correct. Okay.
Yeah, so I just responded.
I understand. No, right? You said no. So I understand, but Well, if I were selling a house, I would be going with someone who does the full time on a day to day basis, who knows the market very well and is equipped with knowledge to make sure that I get top dollar for my home. You owe yourself the best. Wouldn't you agree, Jim?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'd agree, but um, I don't know. I mean, we're probably just gonna, sell it ourselves, and really because we just had a bad experience with the last agent. He called us first, but then I never heard from him again.
I hear you, Jim. Well, let me tell you that it's definitely a different experience with us. Our team makes a different approach, and that maybe is what you need, right? I'm sure that he tried to sell your home, yet it didn't sell. So why don't we get together so we can know more about your home and see how we can get this home sold for you in no time.
Oh, okay. I mean, I guess that would be okay.
Okay, great. So before before we go further on the schedule, um, let me ask you a couple of questions so I can have a little background on your home. Okay, Jim? If if what I say makes sense and you feel comfortable and confident that we can sell your home, are you planning to list your home with us when we come out?
Uh, maybe.
Okay, then will you be planning to interview more than one agent for the job of selling your home?
Probably not. I mean, if you guys do a good job, I guess, we'd be willing to see how that goes.
Great. So if we sell your home in the next 30 days, will that be a problem for you then?
No, that should be fine.
Great. Tell me, are you moving to a different place? You're looking for a new place, or you already have all that set up?
We actually, you know what? I really do need to run because my wife and I were supposed to go out right now. But listen, I think that's fine. Is there a time maybe where we can do this a little bit later?
Sure. Okay. No problem. You see, we specialize on selling homes that didn't sell the first time, and I was hoping we can gather together for 15 minutes to talk about your home more in depth. Which usually works better for you, weekends or weekends? Weekdays or weekends?
Oh, the weekends usually work better.
Okay, great. So, what do you say about meeting with us on this Sunday at 9 a.m.? Would that be okay?
Sure, that'd be good.
Great. And just to give you more information about us, if you can give me your email so I can forward you more details.
Okay. Yeah, so it's 123 at gmail.com.
Great, thank you, Jim. You said 123 at gmail.com, right?
Yeah,
Okay, so I will be giving. Is it okay if I give you a follow-up call on Saturday at 9 a.m. also?
sure. Yeah, anytime Saturday's okay.
Great. So I look forward uh, to hearing from you next time. Any other questions you have before we go?
No, I do really need to go though.
Great. Okay, so I understand, Jim. It was a pleasure talking to you today, and we'll see you on this Sunday. Okay.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you.
Great. You have a great trip. Bye
Okay,
bye.
click. That was good, Diego. That was actually I was trying to be a little bit more of like a pushy guy um,
Okay.
towards the end because actually sometimes that'll happen. And
Yeah.
when you're going through the script, Diego, if you can,
Mhm.
go ahead and set the appointment first, and then if the appointment is like tomorrow, or like let's say today's like Monday, for example, and you set the appointment for like Monday afternoon or like later today or even like early tomorrow, like on Tuesday, then what you could do is try to ask him to see if you can go through that qualifying script now on the phone. But mostly we'll just try to set the appointment and then, just grab their email address before and then call back previously, or excuse me, before the actual appointment. So we usually try to break that up
Uh-huh.
into two different phone calls. And that way, especially like if you set something for like, if it's Monday this week, maybe you set it for like next Monday. A whole week might go by. So we might call them on Friday to be like, hey, hope you have a great weekend. We set an appointment for this time. Are you still good? Oh, yeah, I forgot, but yeah, that still works. Okay, great. And while I have you on the phone real quick, I just have a couple questions to make um, our visit shorter and should run about, 15 to 30 minutes, depending how many questions you have. Do you have like 2 or 3 minutes right now for me to ask you some questions? Oh, yeah, sure, that'd be okay. All right, great. So and then you just kind of go into the script. But hang tight on asking that unless you set the appointment very soon, like within the next 24 hours.
What happens if I do it in the next 24 hours?
Then go ahead and go with the script. But if not,
Uh-huh.
Diego, like if you set it another day or two out, because sometimes because basically you're working off my schedule or
Uh-huh.
whoever the agent you're setting the appointment for. I mean, we're literally working off their schedule. So, like for me, for example, I don't work on Sundays, and I usually try to stop around 5 or 6 p.m. every day. So, because I work 7 to 6 or 5 Monday to Saturday. So, some agents will work on the weekend. So, like, depending on their schedule, that's when you can give them like an option or two. So I usually try to.
Okay.
That's usually when I ask them like, oh, okay, so what works better for you, weekdays or weekends? And if it's an agent who has Saturday and Sunday available, then you can say weekdays or weekends. Otherwise, um, just take two options that are available. Let's say like the agent has Thursday morning and then Friday afternoon. What you could say is, what usually works better for you is like a Thursday or Friday better instead of including a weekend.
Okay.
So
But according to what I see already on the schedule, on the
gotcha. Yeah, and if you need a minute, Diego, like if you don't have that pulled up right away, and you're kind of just working on your script and taking notes, so just tell them, okay, so I'd like to get together for about 15 minutes or so to talk about why your house didn't sell the first time around. Um, when's a good time for us to do that? Let me just see if I can pull up my schedule real quick. Um, what typically works better for you throughout the week? Oh, well, Saturdays are good. Gotcha. Okay. Oh, okay. I just pulled up my calendar. It looks like we're full on Saturday. But how does next Monday sound? Are you available Monday afternoon, let's say around like 3 p.m.? Oh, Monday's no good. Okay. Well, it looks like we have Tuesday and Wednesday afternoon open as well. Um, is there a time during the week that might be convenient? Well, early in the morning or after 5 p.m. Okay. Um, how does like 5:45 sound on Tuesday? Oh yeah, that'll be good. That'll give me enough time to come home from work. Great. Okay, let's set it up for Tuesday at 5:45. And then you can just go, close the appointment, and then on Monday we can call him back and go through the prequel script.
Okay. The pre-qualifying, right?
Yeah, that PQ.
Pre-qualifying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's where
Okay.
the one that you've been reading the questions off of. That's that one. Um,
Correct. Okay.
so,
Yes,
um,
I was leaving the like making the schedule at the end because I remember last time that I took that part at the beginning because you said yes, we're available. Right? So I just went directly to making the schedule, and yeah, so that's why I was leaving it for the end because after I have the schedule, then I feel like